Hi, it's Cassandra coming back with another video. Today I just wanted to come back and you guys have to excuse my deep voice. Y'all know that sometimes I'm talking deep because most of the time it's recorded in the mornings when I still have my man voice on, so kind of excuse it. So anyway, I was just coming back today to talk more about the whole experience when I was in Japan. You know, I told you guys that when I got married at 17 and we moved, I moved over to Japan in when I was 18. And so after baptism and everything, I was hanging out with a lady that was she was older than I was because we had all women inside, mostly all women inside of the congregation because it was a English-speaking congregation in the in Japan. Because of course we couldn't understand the Japanese people, so they had their own congregation. But then we kind of like rented a little small building where we came as American people, or English people, English speaking people. That's why it was called the English speaking congregation. So, people would come there and, the women who were married to like mostly military men would come there and bring the children and everything. And it was they had a couple of Caucasian guys. One was an elder, and then one was like a ministerial servant. And, it was like I think a government person that was over there, like he worked for the government, and so he wasn't in the military, so he was there too. And he was kind of like they needed all the men that they could get, really, because they just needed like American or English speaking men, but they needed to be inside the Kingdom Hall. It couldn't be no military man that would take the lead. So they had this one guy, the guy that was 17 years old. I was like best friends with his mother because she had been in the cult for a long time, and I had been raised inside of it. Which you get you was born in the truth, you was raised in the truth, you just got the truth. It was you had your leverage, you had you had your titles. You were, even though you were a woman, if you were born in or raised in it, you had a little bit more credibility. So even though I had just came back in it, I was raised in it. So I had to set a great example, for the new women was in there. Besides the guy, the elder, he was married to a Japanese woman, and she was really a strong first lady, inside of the congregation. She kind of really ruled hard, telling us what all we couldn't wear and what we couldn't say, and how many parties we could have or get-togethers and everything. And she was always disciplining us about something. So we were kind of more scared of her than we were the elders. So the elder and the ministerial servant, she was the chief. So anyway, so when I was hanging around that lady, she had been I don't know if she was really raised in it, but she had got in it pretty early, and I think she was in her like early 40s. And so by me, like I said, being raised in it myself, and then some women were coming in it that had, we were trying to study with them, or I wasn't really studying with anybody, but I just had to kind of just put on a positive role model. Role is what I had to do. And so I tried to do that. I had my two little girls and everything, and would be bringing them. And I guess the congregation consisted of I guess altogether like 30 people, with the elder, his wife, the ministerial servant, his wife, the government agent, government, person that worked for the government, him and his wife, and then all the rest of us was like women, and children. Um, And sometimes the military men would visit every now and then with their wives or whatever. And so we had a very small congregation. And so she and I became close, and going places and doing things together. And like I said before, whenever we were sitting down visiting and everything, just talking and everything, I was kind of glad to be chatting and talking to her, because even though she had been in the religion for a while, she wasn't really that uh, strict, like the other people, studying and people coming in, they really get in there and be real strict and everything. And see, I really didn't want to have that kind of thing going on. So I kind of liked it more relaxed. Somebody who, listen to some music and, we just talk and kind of just, you don't always have to be, have no wash towel in your hand or whatever, but, just decent, conversations and stuff like that. And so, like I said, she had a 17-year-old son, and she had a 15-year-old daughter. And so I, would be sitting down, we were just talking and everything. And so when the girls would want to go with her daughter, upstairs and everything, I would just, I said, okay, it's fine, no problem with that. So she would go, they would go upstairs and play and everything. So, they come back down, no problem, we leave. And no, it wasn't no big deal. But, when we were at the Kingdom Hall and everything, her 17-year-old son would be, carrying the microphones and everything and helping out, with the, helping just kind of like he wanted to become like a ministerial servant whenever he could, He wasn't in the military, and if, they stayed there long enough, he could have been a servant, or could have got a wife or something if he could have found one, but it wasn't no children. It wasn't anybody his age, like, there to date him, unless it was, some Japanese, women or something like that, which could have been possible. So, we all just was like a little family. He would play with the children and everything, swing them around and everything, and if he had candy or chewing gum or something like that, he would, be giving it to them. And all the children, really liked him. So, we all just carried on like family members and everything. So the thing is that when my little girls came down, one day and said that, he had shown himself to them, to one of my 2-year-old is the one that said it. And so at the time, I just, I know we called him downstairs and we asked him, and he kind of stuttered a little bit, and, and whatever happened. And after that, I just looked at him. I just looked at his mom and him, and I just remember, I was just at home, and my 2-year-old and my 4-year-old was just, around looking at TV. And I guess I could get up for like 3 or 4 days, because my then husband was like on TDY, like a temporary duty assignment. And like I think he was in like Korea, and that's, he was there for maybe like 2 weeks or whatever. But he had like 3 more days before he came home. And I, for some reason, I don't know how I fed the children or whatever, but I was just like in the bed just crying, because I knew that, he had done that, but I didn't know how to handle it. So when my ex-husband came home, and from TDY and everything, he had called, a couple of times and everything. And I think one time I didn't answer the phone, and one time I was crying so bad that he just really couldn't make no sense of what I was really talking about and everything. So whenever he came home from TDY, I explained to him what the girls said, what I could get out of them and everything. And you know, he was trying to just ask them, what was going on, and he couldn't really get much out of them either. They kept saying the same thing, that he had, the guy showed him, himself, and and they told me and whatever. And so he was my ex-husband, at that time, my then husband. He went out he grabbed his knife. We didn't have weapons or anything, over there, no Japanese people, they don't back then in Okinawa, they don't permit guns and everything like that. Military had guns, but my husband, he wasn't a person that had guns. He was in communications and everything, so he just grabbed a knife, and he was going out into the car and everything, and I just followed him outside. The girls were inside, and I just like begged him. This was like the first time that I have ever seen him cry. So he was crying and he had a knife, and I stopped him from going over to the people's house. And to be honest, this is the part that I deal with, because as a mother, I really did want him to go. I really did want him to go over there and hurt somebody. The neighborhood where I'm from, if something like that happened, or somebody do something to you, you should hurt somebody. Whether it be that person, family members or whatever, somebody should be hurt, for doing something like that. And for me to, beg him not to do that night, and just, and mostly I think I did that because I couldn't go with him, because I had my girls inside the house, and we didn't have readily babysitters, especially at the end after that happened. It was going to be really hard for me to even let anybody keep them. If I did let somebody keep them, it would be just some of the women that was in the Kingdom Hall. We were, keep each other's children and stuff like that sometimes. But or that lady in particular would watch the kids, but you would think that would be her and her daughter that would be watching them. But once that happened, your mind just went all over the place. Like, when I let her watch my kids before, did he watch them? Did whatever? My mind just went all over the place. But I stopped him that night from going, to whatever he was going to do, because I could see, I have premonitions sometimes, and I could see like that lady, hurt more than anybody, because I don't know why. I just saw her being hurt more than the husband or or her son. And so I begged him, to relax and let Jehovah handle it. I'm sure, that's what we said. So he kind of, calmed down and everything, and I went on to talk to the elder about what happened with my daughters. And so the part I didn't like is when he started asking them questions like, how many times did he show himself, or what did he show? And they were like 4 and 2 years old, and he wanted to talk to them by himself, like when we went to the Kingdom Hall, can you just go into the other room, because I don't want you to I don't want it to be said that you told them to say something. So can you just, step out for a minute? And I'm kind of moving back into the, background, and let him ask them questions like, how many times did he show you? And did he ever do this before? Or what did he show you? Or did he touch, And they were, my girls, my 2-year-old was just saying the kind of same thing. He showed himself to us, and and my other 4-year-old wouldn't say nothing. As a matter of fact, she was getting more and more like withdrawn. And so after I took the girls and everything, I brought them home, and I started just yelling at them, like, tell me how many times, what happened, we need to know, because I needed to know in order to try to prove to this man that the person that carried the microphones in the Kingdom Hall needed to be disciplined, and people needed to be told about what he did. And so he couldn't get enough information from my girls, and so I was actually yelling at them, which I really, really knew, and I know that was just really wrong on my part, and I really, deal with the fact that I didn't even handle that right at all. And so, like I said, my husband and I, we decided to go head on and turn them in to the authorities and everything. And from the information that we got, we knew that our daughters didn't watch anything on TV or whatever. We knew that they weren't lying about what they said, and so we couldn't make how many times that they had done it, he had done it or whatever. All I could make, sense out of was that he had shown himself to them, and he wanted them to pull their clothes down and all that kind of stuff. And all while I was down there sitting down is what it sounded like to me. When I was there, he did it. And so, taking them to the hospital doctors and stuff, to check it out to see had anything happened or whatever. And, it had not, that had not occurred, the whole thing. But it just was very devastating to continue to try to talk to the elder and try to find out, are you gonna, give a talk about this, or he gonna be counseled? He gonna be, we don't understand. I don't have enough information. I'm gonna find out from the society what I need to do next, and this and that and the other. So he was taking a long time to come back with it. So I just went on and started talking to the women inside the Kingdom Hall, the congregation, about it. And so the guy's mother, the pedophile's mother, became kind of annoyed with me and everything because I started to talk about her son to different people. Now, I didn't get an apology, from her, from her son. We didn't receive any kind of nothing. All we received was, when I said, they called me in and told me that, I had been gossiping, because people came, the women came to him and started asking him questions. And he started saying that I was the one that was gossiping. And I actually, fell for that. Instead of leaving and coming out of there, I actually, act like, okay, I'm going to be quiet about this and whatever. And I told some of the women, but for me to, yell at my daughters, stop my ex-husband, to yell at myself, it seemed like to me I did more of abusing myself than anything. And that's what they do. They get you to abuse yourself. And this is why I had to have counseling. This is why I had to have your love, because they have you to hurt yourself. They give you so much rope for you to hang yourself. And many people in there, sadly today, that's what they're doing, hanging themselves. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a great day. Thanks for watching.